Yo, what's up, sleepy heads? That's right. We up early this morning getting it in. Y'all thought the Terry Crews video had y'all in stitches. Terry Crews people are not too happy about my video, I'll tell you that. I thought it was great comedy, but they did not. But that's another story. Um, yeah, I don't expect a lot of notifications to fly out my way today. I'm thinking I'm gonna be met with a lot of resistance as I'm feeling it right now. Because for some odd reason, as I sit here and talk to you, my notification seems to be a little bit stuck. Now, Amanda Seales, from the hit show Insecure, everyone has made the assumptions that this is a bad woman. You know, she has an attitude problem. She don't know how to talk to people. She's just somebody we don't like. We can't trust her. Just bad. Bad, bad, bad. So when you have that kind of stigma about yourself and nobody really knows you yet, or really too much in the business, I don't know what just happened. It took 2 minutes for one person to come in with a comment, which tells me there's a major problem going on here. No, I'm only doing this video, so I'm hoping it. Well, anyway, I guess we're back. I don't know what's going on here. It's all kind of technical difficulties unnecessarily. Anyhow, let's get to it. Now, she's went through a lot. Well, I'm glad she's still here, Rich. But she's been through a lot. Like, they put this girl through the ringer. Many people don't even know why. But she has a bad track record. Like, there's a lot of people in the industry do not like Amanda Seales. And that's not good. You know, she's fought through a lot to get into her position. But the reason why I'm even talking about it is because I've actually met Amanda Seales. She DJ'd a couple of parties. When we were doing some boxing promos and everything else back in like 2012, 13, something like that. When they were doing the poetry or floretry or whatever they were doing on that show. They were promoting that at the time. And we didn't know her as any standard of look at her and say, hey, we got to get this done, or we got to do that to get done. We didn't go that route. We hung out with her and we said, man, this is the most down-to-earth person I've ever saw who was starting to get fame. But she was not handpicked for her position. You can tell that. Like, they have people that are groomed who are like tailor-made for stardom. That wasn't this kid. This girl was not that. She was like somebody who was trying to get into business, didn't quite know if she wanted to be an R&B singer, a rap star, or poet. So to see her take off the way she did on Insecure's TV show, I could see why. But I also said, I don't think that girl gonna make it on this show. She's got too much, personality. And that's not necessarily a good thing. When you got too much personality, sometimes you can outshine the star of the show. And Issa Rae or whatever eventually will grow to dislike her. Because all of the energies are different. And when your energies are different, these are the narratives. So apparently, she doesn't get along with the, publicist of Issa Rae. Amanda Diva. Well, like I said, whatever she wants to call herself, she can. But all I can tell you is, when we met her, she was the most transparent person we had seen at the time. That's facts. Everything about this girl was transparent. Like, you wouldn't get a lie out of her. So a lot of people have problems with individuals they can't control. If they can't control their narrative, they can't control their situations, they don't fit the agenda. They cast out like leopards or something. So when they decided to cast her out, that was the narrative, basically. And when I mean cast her out, I mean in the groups. So if you seen, because the publicist got her kicked out of a party because the publicist just don't like her. And I can understand that situation without even being there. Her personality is very eye-opening, engaging, straightforward shooter. To some, she can come off as arrogant. If she was a male in her business, they would love it. But the fact that she's a female and doing this, well, let's just say it's not championed as much. I wouldn't say she needs help, because being who she is got her where she is. You know, she wouldn't have made it this far. I mean, I know a lot of people she's worked with in the business, and as far as all these assistants, all these interns who now have production assistant jobs, now they got another job where they're supposed to be a head honcho of something, somebody important. And these guys were nobodies. They had no talent. They kissed up to the interns and got to become production assistants and all of these things. So they're not famous, and they try to live through the life of the person that they're attached to. So if Issa Rae's assistant has a problem with Amanda, you would think Issa, who was definitely hands-on with the show as far as writing, production, and everything else, that this could destroy the unity of the show. But her not really getting involved speaks volumes, because you know how Amanda is. You know your assistant don't like her. You're not gonna find out why. You ain't gonna get to the bottom of it. You're not gonna care. And what about the other castmates? You know, they not gonna get involved. They just gonna let it all happen. So, okay, she gonna do her podcast. She gonna blow that show up, and then they gonna do a smear campaign where they get everybody to come out and say negative things. They're gonna have all these little false reports come out that everybody supposedly with, and they're gonna say, she's always was mean. One thing that girl has never been is mean. She might have been in a I don't really care mode. She don't speak very apologetic. But one thing I would not say is she's a mean person. I think if you pushed her to be, she could really do some cutting you up. But that's not this is not this girl's desire. It's to tear you down. But in Hollywood, such is life, you learn valuable lessons. You learn everybody is not really with you. You learn just because you walk through the door with them, they ain't really cool with you. Yeah, so they'll have to explain why they didn't send out any notifications, like not one, for this video. Well, that's the publicist. That's not, the publicist was part of the person who was responsible for other events, like putting events together and doing a guest list. You know, it's all these little parties that don't mean any damn thing to anybody, except for celebrities. You know, and that's where people go and meet and discuss working together and doing deals together with each other. You know, that's where you start to see, you know, people fraternizing and forming bonds. And for some reason, this assistant has a problem with her. And she said since day one, this publicist had a problem with her. And I believe it. Do I believe it's Amanda Seales? No. Oh, yeah, everything's great. So I believe her 100%, because She's got a credibility of not, biting her tongue. You know, she kind of lets it fly, and she aired her out. I don't think she's gonna be on Insecure because, like I told you, when you're outshining the star of the show, to me, Issa Rae should stay off the camera and go into directing and producing because, or writing, producing, doing stuff like that, because to me, her acting is not strong enough to carry it. That's just me. Would I work in Hollywood? Only behind the camera or producing. One, that's where the money is. Two, that's where the money is. Yeah, you can tell. So anyway, I'll tell you another story about Amanda. Another producer, not even a producer, let me stop, intern named Alex, who was working on a TV show. Oh, there we go. Working on a television series that they were trying to put together in New York. And they were talking about bringing Amanda Seales on board. And that didn't happen because Alex was upset because she didn't want to be with him. It's the same Amanda he was crying about that he wanted to get up with. And because she didn't give him none, he made sure to torpedo any chance she had of getting on that show. I think she was aware of it, but she already had an opportunity because she ended up going to California and making it happen. So I guess it was just in the cards. Oh yeah, I mean, when you got dudes that's lame, they'll do all kind of goofy. One guy was spreading rumors about her sleeping around with everybody. She just sleep around with everybody so she can get where she wants to go. Like, no, not her. Not the girl we met. I don't believe that. She's the kind of girl that could be cool with a bunch of guys. And a bunch of guys would be like, man, how come everybody's cool with her and not us? Other girls be like, maybe y'all just want to sleep with us and that's it. Her, you can actually chill with. She had that kind of vibe. Well, when you don't, it's like this. When you don't have a bunch of support, because like I said, she didn't come in with a support system. She didn't come in with a crew of people that had her back and all this stuff. She got found on the internet. She was doing a web series. Next thing you know, from a web series, she turns that into getting an agent to come and grab her and represent her. They found her on the internet. So when you come from that background, but you got more spirit and more soul and more, just it's in you. You have the it factor. My sister watched the television show. I don't really watch it. But from what I've seen from Isa, and it's her show, I could tell you Amanda Seales being on that show, people know her character probably more than any other character on the show. Now, if you guys watch it, you probably know. Oh, I didn't know she was on TV as a kid. That would make sense. I remember they said that she gave Jay-Z her phone number before and all that stuff, and Jay-Z got her fired from MTV or something. That was a rumor for a long time. Somebody told me it wasn't true, but still, that was the rumor for a very long time. Good morning, brother. Look, no notifications today. What a shocker. That's why if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button as we are talking. Hit the notification bell so everybody can know that you are here because you want to be. I never felt that way. And don't forget to hit the like button too. Nah, man. From my standpoint, from my point of view, looking from the outside looking in, I'm seeing things a lot differently from my side. My thing is, I'm looking at it like, why didn't Issa Rae get up and take up for a friend? The View, I couldn't see her on the View. People was like, she on the View. I'm like, oh, that ain't gonna last long. I was saying that one too long ago. I'm like, oh, that ain't gonna last long. Well, the more you look at it, the more difficult it's gonna be. Here's somebody who Jay-Z got her in trouble. She was at Sirius Radio. She interviewed Jay-Z, right? Amanda Seales. Because Jay-Z was just sitting there. She came there, he was just sitting in the lobby. And he was like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." She's like, "You want to do an interview?" He was like, "Yeah." So he went and did the interview with Amanda Seales, and she got wrote up because it's unauthorized. See, if you get an unauthorized interview with somebody, they might have been there for another purpose, and that their agent set up, or the people that work there with them set it up, and they put the whole thing together. They put a lot of money behind it, or he was scheduled to do something else there, and they didn't go through the proper channels. You know, something could get said in that interview that could be damaging, and they could say, or the studio or whoever set it up saying, "We did not authorize that." So they could be in a very liable situation. So they chose to stay out of it rather than to pursue it. So she got a write up. She didn't get fired because of that, but when she interviewed Jay-Z at MTV, she did not try to date Jay-Z. But the industry believes she did because that was the lie. So when the lie is floating around about you, that's gonna ruin your chances. And you might never even know about the lie. It's already spoken around you. And sometimes it don't get back to you. That is one thing about lies. They don't discriminate. They're not just subject to one form of people. I know. She did that. She got written up for it. And a lot of people tried to say she tried to sleep with a lot of people. She was mean. Then one of the co-stars came out and attacked her and said, "Well, you can't be rude to people." And then had this happen. I mean, he sounded like a sucker when he was saying that. So they've always had a problem with her. Most of the things they do, they lie on the girl. Or I just don't believe it. She's been written off as that girl to lie on because they don't like her. In other words, she's not industry. So when you're not industry, this seems in teams, this seems to be like one of the main narratives. Well, some people could say that. Others don't really care too much. I just think that when you go all the way out your way to assassinate the woman's character the way they are, they're doing it because she doesn't fit what they want. She's not moving the way they want them to move. She's doing her. And when you're doing you and you speak freely off the cuff, they don't like that too much. But it got her where she is. So just let that sink in.